500-year-old map was discovered, and it shatters the official history of our planet. One of the most compelling facts about the map is that it includes a continent that our history book tells us was not discovered until 1818. This is by Collective Spark. Arjun Walia from Collective Evolution. Human history is quite an enigma, and we know very little about the past, and much of what we think we know is always subject to change as information constantly emerges that challenges our current understanding of the world. And our world is also no stranger to unexplained mysteries. There are numerous examples of verified phenomena, ancient monuments, books, teachings, understandings, and more that lack any explanation and counter what we've already been taught. We are like a race with amnesia, able to put together small bits and pieces of our history, but we're not able to fit it all together. There are still many missing pieces to the puzzle. Now, we know that in the area between the Dark Ages, whatever, knowledge was at that time based on evidence. But lately, in the 19th, 20th century, we're talking about theories. Theories are not based on evidence. Now, when we have maps like this, that means that definitely people knew what was there. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. But how did they know? Now, we know from ancient texts that ancient Greeks, ancient Egyptians, even ancient India, China, claimed that they had legends and myths concerning flying craft. So it could be that these flying craft had these maps and knowledge of the world. Now, one great example of this map is the Piri Reis map. It's a genuine document that was copied at Constantinople, today's Istanbul, in 1513 AD from older documents and discovered recently, just 1929. It focuses on the western coast of Africa, the eastern coast of South America, and the northeast coast of Antarctica. It was drawn by Admiral Piri Reis of the Ottoman era, a well-known historical figure. He made a copy of the map, which was originally drawn based on documents that date back to at least the 4th century BC. 4th century BC. That's at the time of Alexander the Great, and on information obtained by multiple explorers. So why is the map so compelling? One of the most compelling facts about the map is that it includes a continent that our history books tell us was not discovered until 1880. We're talking about Antarctica. Secondly, the map depicts what's known as Queen Maud Land, 2.7 million square kilometer or 1 million square miles region of Antarctica, as it looked millions of years ago. This region and other regions shown on the map are thought to have been covered completely in ice, but the map tells a different story. It shows them free of ice, which suggests they passed through a long ice-free period that may not have ended until around 6,000 years ago, conflicting with current research on these areas. Today, geological evidence has confirmed that this area could not have been ice-free until about 4000 BC. So something happened that caused all this to have hundreds of feet, thousands of feet of ice. Now, official science has been saying all along that the ice cap, which covers the Antarctica area, is millions of years old. The Piri Reis map shows that the northern part of the continent had been mapped before the ice did cover it, which means that it was mapped 1 million years ago. But that's impossible, since mankind did not exist at that time, so the theory goes. So that's a conundrum, isn't it? Professor Charles Hapgood, who was a university history professor, wrote to the United States Air Force Reconnaissance Technical Squad, SAC, and they also confirmed that this indicates a coastline that had been mapped before it was covered by the ice cap. They also went on to state that we have no idea how the data on this map can be reconciled with the supposed state of geographical knowledge in 1513 and 400 BC. So here's what Hapgood had to say about it in his book, Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings. He says, it appears that accurate information has been passed down from people to people. It appears that the charts must have originated with a people unknown, and they were passed on perhaps by the Minoans and the Phoenicians. The Phoenicians, as we know, were Minoans. They were from ancient Crete, and they were also giants, according to the Holy Bible. So these Minoans and Phoenicians, who were for 1,000 years and more the greatest sailors of the ancient world, we have evidence that they were collected and studied in the great library of Alexandria, Egypt, and that compilations of them were made by the geographers that worked there. Furthermore, the map is very detailed and includes mountain ranges in the Antarctic that were not even discovered until 1952. His idea is original, of great simplicity, and if it continues to prove itself, of great importance to everything that is related to the history of the Earth's surface. This is what Einstein said on Hapgood's interpretation of the map. From the foreword Einstein wrote for Hapgood's book in one of his books. Hapgood and mathematician Richard Strachan have also provided more mind-boggling information. For example, a comparison with modern-day photographs taken from satellite images show remarkable similarities. The origins of Piri Reis maps might well have been aerial photographs taken from a very high height. And we'll let you think about that for a second. How is that possible for a map that was made millions of years ago? Quote, a spaceship hovers high above Cairo and points its camera straight downward. When the film is developed, the following picture would emerge. Everything that is in a radius of about 5,000 miles of Cairo is reproduced correctly because it lies directly below the lens. But the countries and continents become increasingly distorted the farther we move our eyes from the center of the picture. Why is this? Owing to the spherical shape of the Earth. The continents away from the center sink downwards. South America, for example, appears strangely distorted lengthways, exactly as it does on the Piri Reis maps, and exactly as it does on the photographs taken from the American lunar probes. This is what Eric von Daniken wrote in Chariots of the Gods. Now, changing our view of the past, the fact that this ancient map could have been made with some sort of aerial technology is quite a thought, isn't it? Even if this is not an option, who had the technology to undertake such an accurate geographical survey in Antarctica 2 million years ago? How would they have known to detail the map as if it were taken from above with knowledge about the Earth's shape? It remains a mystery how the Sumerians, the Mayans, and others were aware of celestial bodies in space, for instance, that are impossible to detect without modern technology, and were able to make calculations based on that awareness. This map is another example of just such a mystery and suggests that existence of some sort of ancient advanced civilization with all the tools or possibly more of modern day civilization is indeed plausible. And let's think of the Emerald Tablets written by Thoth the Atlantean, who claims that they had not only had space flight and interstellar flight, they also had interdimensional travel. And you'll find the playlist on my playlist list there. Now, for more detailed information regarding this truly fascinating map, you can check out Graham Hancock's Fingerprints of the Gods. And we have to mention that this map is part of a very large body of evidence suggesting that extremely intelligent, very advanced, ancient civilizations once inhabited our Earth. This was from Collective Evolution, published here under Creative Commons license on Collective Spark. Please leave your comments, and thank you so much for your support.